What if I told you Apple might finally be giving us the one thing iPhones have always struggled with? Real battery power. Not just a small boost. I'm talking about a full-blown 5,000 mAh battery in the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's not a typo. That's the kind of capacity we've only seen in big Android flagships for years. If this leak is real, Apple is going all in. And it might be the biggest shift we've seen in the iPhone lineup in over a decade. Welcome back, viewers. Sam here. If you love first-look leaks, bold tech predictions, and juicy details before they go mainstream, go ahead, like this video, share it with your fellow phone nerds, and subscribe for more fluff updates just like this. Let's get into it. So, this all starts with a leak from a pretty consistent source, Instant Digital. According to them, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is set to feature a 5,000 mAh battery. For context, the iPhone 16 Pro had a 466 mAh cell. That means we're getting nearly a 7% boost in raw battery capacity, the largest increase ever in iPhone history. And while 7% might not sound huge at first, paired with Apple's next-gen silicon and iOS optimization, that's going to feel massive in daily use. But this isn't just about numbers. Think about what this means in real life. Less anxiety on travel days, fewer emergency power banks, and possibly finally a full day of iPhone use without battery panic. And remember back in 2014, Samsung aired that brutal ad mocking iPhone users glued to airport walls, desperately charging their phones. They called them wall huggers. It was funny, but it was also painfully true. iPhones, especially in the early days, had solid performance, but the battery was always the Achilles heel. And now, 10 years later, it looks like Apple is finally ready to bury that reputation. Now, there's a catch. A 5,000 mAh battery doesn't just magically fit into an iPhone without consequences. The iPhone 17 Pro Max might end up being thicker and heavier than its predecessor. But here's the thing, Pro Max users have never really complained about size. These are the folks who want big screens, big cameras, and big performance. So if the trade-off is a few more grams for all-day battery, most of us will gladly take it. But just as Apple seems ready to give us the chunkiest iPhone ever, they're also rumored to be working on the thinnest iPhone in company history. Enter the iPhone 17 Air. Let's talk about it. Reports suggest the iPhone 17 Air will be thinner than even the iPhone 6. Yes, that thin. Super sleek, ultra lightweight, minimal bezels, futuristic feel. It's designed for the people who want a phone that feels like nothing in the hand. And from a design standpoint, it's going to be stunning. But there's always a trade-off, right? That thin frame might come with a battery as small as two 800 mAh. That's almost half the size of the Pro Max's rumored battery. Now, to be fair, Apple could still squeeze decent battery life out of that with their efficient chips. But let's be honest, if you're on TikTok streaming Netflix, running apps all day, you're going to feel that difference. You'll be charging more often, possibly even daily. So here's the real question, is Apple finally giving us choice? Because for years, every iPhone felt like a slight remix of the one before. Sure, better cameras, faster chips, but the core experience was largely the same. Now, we're looking at two dramatically different visions of what a flagship iPhone can be. On one side, you've got the Pro Max, a powerhouse built for endurance, performance, and people who live on their phones. On the other, the Air, a style-first, featherlight device that fits almost invisibly in your pocket. And if you're wondering, why now? Here's my take. Apple's been watching the market shift. They know Android has been crushing it in the battery department for years. Phones like the Galaxy S Ultra and OnePlus flagships have offered 5,000 mAh batteries for ages. Apple, always cautious, held back, opting for thinner builds and battery optimization. But it looks like they're finally saying, okay, fine. Let's give people what they've been asking for. And speaking of giving people options, this iPhone 17 lineup could mark a bigger shift in Apple's product strategy. They're not just giving you regular and Pro. They're giving you performance vs design, power vs portability. This could be Apple's answer to growing fatigue around annual upgrades, making the differences big enough that users actually feel compelled to choose. So where do I stand? I'm Team Pro Max, no hesitation. I want that battery. I want the performance. I want the biggest, baddest version of the iPhone. But I totally get why someone else might lean toward the Air, especially if you're not glued to your phone 24/7 and you care more about weight and comfort than hours of screen time. But don't get me wrong, I'm also keeping an eye on the Pixel 10 Pro XL and the next-gen Pixel Fold, because let's be honest, Android's still winning in certain areas. Value, customization, foldables, sometimes making the switch is tempting, but the iPhone's ecosystem, long-term software support, resale value, it's hard to walk away from all that. Still, this battery leak, this might be the move that finally silences one of the iPhone's oldest criticisms. If Apple really delivers a 5,000 mAh battery without turning the Pro Max into a brick, this could be one of the best iPhones we've seen in years. So now I'm turning it over to you. Are you Team iPhone 17 Pro Max, ready for all-day battery and beast mode performance? Or Team iPhone 17 Air, choosing sleekness, portability, and lightweight design over raw power? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to hear which direction you're leaning. Because one thing's for sure this year, Apple isn't just refining the iPhone, they're redefining it.